So I think some of the major issues related to equity are the gaps between the different demographics, whether it's through homelessness versus people who aren't homeless, racial equity, the gaps that divide people of different races.
I find it that trying to fit us into a specific path or into a certain algorithm for success, that is very difficult when it comes to education.
I think that Boston tries to pretty much diminish the fact that we have an equity issue here, and I feel like it's an equity issue that's holistic, especially in the terms of like class and race. I think that Boston very much is a very segregated city.
Boston has dealt with racism extremely and segregation, and we're still living with that to this day, with like the history of redlining, and like you can literally see the racial lines and where they've been drawn just by walking through neighborhoods.
As part of a Boston public school system, I think a big issue as far as equity goes is resources. And when I mean resources, not just programs, but actually counseling for the students, starting in high school, if not before, on how to navigate the system as far as school goes. Yes.
So personally, I don't feel I've been affected by equity, but I do understand that some people face this as a problem in their everyday lives, whether it's again through racial equity, like the gaps, and social status, income, that can really divide people.
Depending on how focused each student is, like how personalized each student's education is, it makes a huge difference as to how their education is going to be.
So I've lived in Harbor Point Apartments since I was around 6 years old, and I've seen how like basically this area has changed so much, especially in recent years, and I've had to deal with rent increases that has put stress on my household dramatically.
I guess one of the inequities that I've faced, and also friends and co-workers have faced as well, is not being able to have access to supermarkets, or like not having one like close by.
I personally have been affected throughout my whole life living in the United States. Like in high school, there are many opportunities that I missed for me to continue my college education because I didn't have a social security number.
So I think as a campus, we need to include everybody, whether it's going through inclusive groups like the Beacon Voyages for Service, a group that everybody can really relate to, everybody can get involved no matter what your age, your race, your social status, something like that, like something very, very inclusive.
The more outreach there is within this community, I feel like the more encouraging it'll be for students to like take part in that. And when there is a community, there's always going to be an opportunity for students or participants of that community to gain resources from it. Something that I've done that has definitely helped coming into UMass Boston is reaching out to like local organizations, and just kind of putting myself out there so that I can break that comfort zone we all talk about.
We need to start being a lot more truthful about what the situation is, and not think that, having jobs or having school opportunities is the way to help the situation. I mean, it comes down to even supporting the organizations even here on campus that provide free services to students. For me, it's being aware, whether it's through reading and kind of doing more research on my own part about the things that I'm passionate about and the things that affect like me and my household. Getting involved on campus, I think, is a great way of being more aware about other people's perspectives and ideas, and also solutions. Start reinforcing ways that you can think about like making solutions.
UMass Boston is the perfect place for this, to be honest. Like, we have huge potential to give back to the communities that need equity the most. POC communities, low-income communities, women communities, LGBTQ.
Some of the things that I have done is just look around. I feel like wherever you go, there's going to be an organization, there's going to be a club on campus. There are a lot of volunteering opportunities that may benefit our community, and I feel like if you're helping your community, you're helping everybody.
In one word or phrase, describe Boston's future in equity.
Community.
A work in progress that's waiting for more voices.
Potential.
Hey, feminist leadership in the city of Boston.
To be determined.